going to do it, Ralph. You know, were we boring enough for you?
I don't know. I think we were great.
Let's get to it.
And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Raf and Raf Rant. I'm your host, Raf Pizarro. Rafa Rispo does have the day off today. Joining us instead, the president of Napoli Club Toronto, our main man, Carmine Guadagno. Welcome, Carmine. How are you today, sir?
Thanks for having me back. I feel like almost it's my second home now.
Right?
It's my second home. I feel comfortable coming back
Good.
here.
Good, yeah. It's like a little home away from home.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel the same way.
This is a mini vacation. This is my mini getaway.
It is like you wouldn't think that a place that we would go off and rant and talk about maybe one of the more emotionally charged things in our lives, that this is where we feel most comfortable, right?
Yeah, it's kind of talk about ironic. Talk about irony.
Yeah.
It's just. I put it perfectly. The thing that gets my blood boiling the most is simultaneously the calmest thing that I could ever talk about.
Right. Exactly. Well, it's good to have you here. Big hi to everybody in the chat, guys. Hello there. Let's get the party started. Be sure to participate today, because boy, we got a lot going on today, Carmine. We all know Italy made it to the final. That's the big news. Let's get that one out the way. Italy made it to the final. They will face England July 11th. That's this Sunday at Wembley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, at Wembley.
All right. Definitely going to be a big game. We'll touch on that a little bit. But really tonight, Carmen, I really wanted to come back because we did Nazio Napoli. Rafa Rispo and I, we did Nazio Napoli. We covered the players. We covered the teams. But I missed Napoli. I really missed talking about Napoli, right? I know we're in the chats a lot. We all go back and forth, but I wanted to come on, talk with the fans a little bit, because I was triggered a little bit this week, all right? Aurelio De Laurentiis finally broke the Silenzio Stampa. He had a press conference in the Hotel Britannique or something like that.
It looked like the Royal Theater.
Right? Looked like Mr. like
Imperatore. The big throne in the Royal Theater.
Maquelli. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting there, posted up like the man. We had his son Ito falling asleep right next to him.
Oh, my God.
Just trying his best to keep his eyes open. But also today we had Spalletti had his press conference at Castel, I believe.
Castel Volturno, yeah.
Well,
now it's a Konami training ground, whatever it's called.
Right, the Konami training.
Deal. Yeah.
Yes, making that money with getting that Japanese money right there. I love it. Go ADL. But mixed reactions, from both sides. Kind of some fans loving it, some fans hating it. ADL is a very polarizing figure. It's like you love or you hate that guy. You love, you hate what he does.
Yeah.
And there's just, we're going to get into it today. We're going to get into it today, you and I, Carmine. And again, in the chat, feel free to comment, guys, because we want you to get in on this. Because man, we're gonna trigger some emotions today, Carmine. We need a little bit of a charge.
That's the name of the show, isn't it?
Right?
It's the rant.
It is the rant, and
so ranting, not everyone's gonna be on the same page. So you know what? Let's let loose. Let's let the chat. Yeah, I want the chat involved. I need different opinions too, because it's not just me and Raf speaking here. It's all you guys speaking too. So. Let us know, because we may trigger some emotions.
Yeah, we might. So let's get that started, guys. But before we get into anything, guys, before we get into it all, we do have one special guest today. We're going to talk about him. His name is Vittorio Anconi. Vittorio Anconi, great member of Calcio Napoli Club USA. He is a New Jersey State triathlete. And he will participate in the New Jersey State Triathlon. Now, he's going to come on. He's going to tell us the story, what it's all about. But really, at CNC, it was kind of a mission of ours to support Napoli and Napolitans in general, not just the soccer club and not just the debates. And we have great ones in there, but also its members, because, boys and girls, there's a lot of things going on with Napolitani throughout the United States. And I really wanted to highlight these people. And Vittorio, I started this project with him, but without further ado, you know what? Let's just bring him in. Our main man, Vittorio Anconi. Welcome, sir. Here we go. Hey.
What's up, Vittorio?
Hey, let's get a big round of applause there for Vittorio. Welcome, sir. Welcome. So, Vittorio, let's talk a little bit. You're a member of Calcio Napoli Club USA, a New Jersey resident, and we spoke one day, right? Do you want to tell the story? Because you told us so
So, it was basically
so let's tell everybody at home.
Yeah, it was more of a frustration rant, like that I was kind of telling Ralph. Like every time I'm out, when you're training, a lot of the bulk of the triathlon comes from the cycling, and you see a lot of these cyclists out there. A lot of them are Italian cyclists out there, and a lot of them have these cycling jerseys, and they're able to get their team of their choice, and they're out there. I'm seeing all these Juve, Tifosi out there with it. I'm like, I gotta find something. This is embarrassing. And, I'm looking on the internet. I'm not finding nothing. So I just started a messenger chat with Raph, and I was like, it really gets me that we're one of the best teams in Serie A, and our apparel, that other alternate apparel, for these other big clubs is there, and it's not there for these alternate sports, Okay. And it was so frustrating. And then he put together this great project. He's came back I think it was a day later. I think it was with him too. And he goes, "How would you like it if I designed a triathlon jersey for you?" It was Napoli, and I was like, "Don't ask me twice." Absolutely, there's nothing I'd like to do than pass a guy in a Juventus jersey,
sure,
and while I'm wearing the Napoli one, absolutely, So it was great, and he got it together.
Right,
I have it. Can I show it?
Yes. Show the world. Show what Vittorio's going to represent.
So
look at this guy. Look at that
front right here.
That's beautiful.
Calcio Napoli USA.
Look at that stomach. Did you see the gut? Look at that. You rip right.
Great. That's amazing.
You know where that ends up.
Of course, personalized it for me with my name. You got the Calcio Napoli USA logo there.
Logo in there.
Gloves and Forza Napoli. Just in case as I'm passing the guy.
Right.
Read it from behind.
Right.
Passing him, but as I'm passing those Juve Tifosi, he'll definitely see that. So
show him.
Oh yeah, that's something. I when I saw that, I was psyched, and to have a sponsor like Rob and do that and represent the Calcio Napoli Club USA and just all Napoli Tifosi out there was absolutely awesome. And this shirt gets me pumped for July 18th.
It gets me pumped just seeing it.
I know. I can't wait. And the road to get the triathlon for me was obviously I used to play soccer.
Okay.
I played hockey all my life.
Right.
But I had to kind of give that up. I had a serious thing going on with my spinal stenosis. I had that going on. And it was severe. It was a severe case. My legs were buckling. I couldn't get balance. When I was on the ice playing, I couldn't get balance when I was playing hockey. And I went to a specialist who was the doctor for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he books about 3 to 4 months out. Saw me that day, saw my results, and said, "I want you on the operating table in a week." Wow. He said, "You're that serious that if you get in a car crash and there's whiplash, you can sever your spinal cord."
Oh man, that's serious business.
So I was always an athletic guy. I needed something. I needed something to keep me going. And I never swam. I swam for fun when I was at a pool party.
Right.
I rode my bike.
Pool party.
And I ran when I was chased, and that was about it. So I had no experience. I said, you know what? A buddy of mine started talking to me about Ironman and what it does, and it's this huge. It's the mother of all triathlons, and it's what I want to get to one day.
Right.
And it's literally a 2-mile swim, 114-mile bike ride, and finally you end it with a full marathon at the end. You're on 26.2 miles.
Vittorio, I'm sweating just thinking about this.
I know.
And trust me, when he told me that, my first question to him was, oh, so how many days do you get to do that? He goes, bro, you do it all in one day. He goes, you start in the morning and do it all in one day. So my mind was blown that there are people out there that actually do this, you know? Yeah, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to see how far it could take me and how far, you know? And then I was just amazed by it also. That's my dream, one day to get there. And you know, it's, you know, when you're out there on your own, it's amazing. It's just you against you.
It's you against the world, you know. Like,
I have a question for you, Vittorio. How long is the training process to get to the point that, because to get to a state triathlon, I don't know how it works in the States, but I know in Canada it takes a while to get to that level. So how long, like, what's the training program like? How long does it take? I'm kind of curious.
I mean, you train, you pretty much are always, as we say, you're always in training. Yeah. You're always in training. You're always year round. You're swimming, you're biking, you're running, and then you know, there's different training plans for different distances. You know, the Olympic distance that I'm doing, much different than the Ironman. You know, it's like a mile swim, 24-mile bike ride, and a 6 miles at the end. You know, so but you still train for that constantly because it's not only those distances; it's the transition from one to the other. I mean, when you're coming off that bike after 24 miles and you got to run 6 miles, I mean, everyone looks like they've been drinking. They're starting to like run.
I can imagine,
back and forth, trying to get those legs going.
Right.
So you amp up the training. I started my training about 2 months ago just for this, you know, and you know, I can say it's been probably the hardest season of training for me. We just got a newborn kid.
Mm-hmm.
So
congratulations.
Thank you. So John Luca has been keeping me up mornings, and but he's also been getting me up earlier and keeping me accountable.
That's all right. That's good.
There's a silver lining.
Yeah, I squeeze it in. You know, I squeeze it in. He gets me up early. I do the feeding. I put him back. I get it done. You know, and it's something that keeps me motivated because and you know, and in turn, I'm also a school teacher.
Okay.
You know, health and PE. And you know, my kids, we teach my kids as well as, and I say we, I mean all the staff where I teach.
Sure.
You know, we teach our kids that, you know, to believe in themselves. And I remember I teach this lesson in school called WHOOP, which is wish, obstacle, outcome, and a plan. And you know, you make them all focus on something. You know, whether it be academic or physical. And the kids knew I was, you know, doing triathlons and stuff. And they said, Mr. Coney, have you ever thought about doing one of those Ironman? I go, I don't know. And it seems a little long. So the kid goes, just make a whoop. And I'm like,
what? See, he gave it back back
to you. Called me out, man. He called me out. So I was like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it. For all these years, it's just been building up, and building a resume to kind of get to that point. In October, I'm running my first full marathon.
Awesome.
Just to kind of see what that feels like. Yeah. So, you know,
it'd be awesome. Where's that marathon?
That's New Jersey as well. I'm doing it right
New Jersey as well.
Right in New Jersey.
So I'm gonna have to make 2 trips out now to come see you. Okay. And you know what? Somebody commented here in the chat. A friend of yours, Antonio. I want to put this up. I think it's great. But he says, side note, Napoli is undefeated since Gianluca's birth.
That's right.
Is that right?
Correct. It's the second coming of Maradona. I'm sweating thinking about it. There's pressure for next season for me, you know?
Oh, this is good. We got it. We're going to have to get him like a CNC onesie or something.
Yeah, we're going
to make that happen.
Since April 19th, he was born. Every game, I mean, we had ties. But
undefeated,
undefeated.
And I went in amazement to me. I would sit him down every morning, we watch, and I'm like, "Man, buddy, you're doing great. This is awesome." Like, you know, like he was out there playing, like, keep it up. And meanwhile, he's just sitting there like this, you know. But
he's the good luck charm.
He's a good luck charm. And I do this stuff for him too. You know, I want him to see, you know, like you could do anything as long as you put your mind to it. A lot of people are like, "You're 44 years old, 45. How long is it going to take?"
Look at that guy, 44. Look at this guy. I hope I look like that when I'm 40. You look wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Majestic. Not as good as Andrea Bocelli, the Euros. That was them I got like.
As I run, you just hear his voice, right?
Right. I mean, none of us can probably ever reach that standard, but you, my friend, look wonderful.
It's when you're out there with something like this, as I found out, it's always like you against you, and just seeing how far you can push yourself. And that's the great thing. When you cross that finish line, it's like that. It's
got to be so gratifying.
Yeah. I tell everybody, like when they train too, I say, if you keep up with your training, I say race day is really just a celebration of all the training you've done. That's your celebration.
Right.
You cross the line with people cheering. That's your your hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. Celebrate that day by the race.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of camaraderie in the sport. People love each other. And they're always supporting each other out on the court. Except for the Juve guys, but
guys, yeah, we're gonna let them know.
It's okay. We don't
really deal with them.
We don't deal with them.
We don't really deal with them. Yeah, good luck, but
good luck.
Merda.
Really, how
Juve. If you can give them a little Juve merda as you pass.
Oh, absolutely.
If you can, maybe
before I had this, that's all I could do.
Yeah, it was.
Before I had this, that's all I could do. Now it kind of speaks for itself as I'm passing.
You just got to cut in front of them.
Sorry,
not sorry. Like, let them know. Maybe they'll trip or something. I don't know. No, I don't wish that, but I wish good luck to all the athletes.
But it's great. And I mean, again, just to wear this is like an honor. You guys sponsoring me is a huge honor. And again, you started that awesome GoFundMe for the race.
Yes.
I couldn't be more, thankful for everything the community has done for me. And like you said before, it's about more than just about soccer. Like, us we come together like for things like this, and that's what I love. So when I'm out there representing you guys, it gives me that little bit of sense of pride. When you want to slow down, it's that little bit that helps you dig deeper.
Just think of all the Napoli Dons are going to yell at you if you stop.
I put it nicely, but I'm like, I don't.
Let's keep it real. No, this is the rant, nothing nice here. but to be honest, Vittorio, the honor is all ours. We're super happy to have a representative, not just the club, but Napoli in general. You're going to represent a whole boatload of people. Forza Vittoria from Gerard, thank you, sir. And
hey, get out of college. That guy I teach his kids.
Okay, all right.
I teach his kids, and his kids are Napoli. I have a picture of one of his daughters wearing a Hamsik jersey.
Nice.
He is perfect. You want to talk about a Tifosi? Like he's got blue running in his veins.
Nice.
I love that guy.
We love it.
All A's for his kids. All A's.
Don't worry about it.
You don't show up in class, you still get that.
Don't worry about it. Oh, you were watching the game, couldn't do your homework? Don't worry about it. Right.
Don't worry about it.
Right. So let's real quick then, Vittorio, before I let you go here, can you just tell everybody at home when and where is the triathlon?
Yeah,
and
the triathlon.
Also about the group that you run, because you run a group as well.
Yeah. So we run. I'm an admin of a Facebook group called Garden State Swim Bike Run, and it's a Facebook group that is for all multi-sport athletes. Whether you do a triathlon or whether you just like one of the elements. And it's a great support group for training. Get together for training partners and stuff, and support group too, just to keep the motivation up. And a lot of those people are going to be at the triathlon, and that is on July 18th, July 17th and 18th. The 17th is the sprint distance. The 18th is the Olympic distance, which is the longer distance that I'll be competing in on July 18th on Sunday, and it's at Mercer County Park in New Jersey. Yeah, so so we'll hope if there's any Napoli fans that live close by that want to come out and root me on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Check it out. Check it out, guys.
Rock will be there.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be taking some photos, guys. If you want to show, if you can't make it, We do have the GoFundMe is still up. You can check it out on my Twitter at CNCUSA26. If you're in our Facebook group at the CNC USA Facebook group, you can also check it out there. I'll probably share it on the Facebook rant as well. Hey, throw 5 on it. Why not? Let's help this guy win a race. It's one of our first and possibly only Napoli representatives in this race, and we want to show him some love and support, guys. All right. You want to give a quick shout out to the kid and wife, anybody out at home that you want to?
I want to give a shout out to Gianluca, who's my #1 fan. My wife Stephanie, who's my #1 fan as well. They're my support team. They're always out there support me. And I got to give a shout out to Tony Pandolfi.
Yes, Tony.
As he volunteered graciously to be your guide for the day at Mercer County Park.
Awesome. I'm going to see you there, Tony.
All right. But it's a pleasure. It's an honor, guys, to wear it. And I'm going to do you guys proud.
Please. All right.
Vittorio, unfortunately, I live in Canada. I can't be there, but
but that's not an excuse. So I'm just kidding.
But on behalf of our club here in Toronto, Napoli Club Toronto, we want to wish you the very best. And I honestly, we will be supporting you guys on the GoFundMe. And just go out there and kick some ass, man. That's all we can ask.
Thank you very much. And by the way, Calcio Napoli Club Toronto has some awesome apparel coming out as well. It's gonna
Napoli Club Toronto. Yes.
Napoli Club Toronto. Yeah.
Napoli Club Toronto.
This is one of our pieces coming out soon.
It's got some awesome apparel coming out. I gotta get my hands on some.
Thank you.
Really good.
Napoli clubs, we got the best drip in Serie A. I'm sorry, I don't care. I'm sorry. Yeah. We win. We win there.
We win it every day, all day.
Every day, all day. Anyway, Vittorio, thanks again. We wish you the best. I'll see you the 18th. And Forza Napoli sempre, sir.
Forza Napoli sempre.
Ciao, ciao. Take care.
Ciao.
All right, ciao, ciao. Awesome, guys. Awesome,
what a
guys.
great guy, man.
No, it's super cool, Vittorio. I remember the first time we talked, man. He was just awesome, dude. And I really wanted to support him. And, we got a Napoli guy out there now. So
but that just shows you, Raph, how deep we run and how little we know about it. It just takes one person to turn it all in its head, right? So
sure.
And
we're just scratching the surface
and supporting each other.
Yeah,
that's something great to see. Honestly, it is.
Carmen, we're just scratching the surface. Whether it's between our club, your club, I just feel like there's so many big things to come. I just feel like Napoli in general, the community on Twitter, it's just ready to blow. I just feel like we're just ready. I think we deserve it. I think it's about that time. I feel like we've reached that level.
Of course, I agree 100%. And like you said, we're still in the premature phases. There's only way but up from here.
Only way but up.
Exactly. And I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it.
I'm super excited. I can't wait. I think COVID put put like a dent in things and a little bit of a stop, a little bit of a pause and delayed everything, because I know you spoke of that meet that you wanted to do, which I was in complete support of, and I was like, that would be awesome. I've never been to Canada. But, with everything going on. But, guys, just stay tuned. Just hold tight.
Just wait.
Just a little bit longer, guys.
It's almost there. The light's at the end of the tunnel. We could all see it. We're going to make it there.
And it's all there.
So
let's talk
some Napoli now.
Let's get into it, man.
Let's go.
First, you know what, guys? There's been, first of all, shout out to Calcio Twitter on your coverage of the Euro finals. It's been wonderful. I've been watching all of you guys. The Calcio guys, I saw them in here earlier. Love you guys. Been watching you guys. The Calcio Connection with Jerry and Alex. Rafa was on that show yesterday. Check that out. Awesome. IFTV and the gang over there. It's just really cool to have all these different outlets. And we did not see Napoli here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Napoli today, Carmine, because I needed to. I needed my fix. It's like
been so long. It's just been so long, right? We just have all this pent up. We need to get it out.
Yeah, right. And I think like a lot of us needed a little bit of a release because we were in that Silencio Stampa, right? We don't know what's going on. Nobody's saying anything. All we have is speculation. All we have is just clickbait and journalism and all that stuff. And I just really wanted to take today to say, you know what, guys, let's get together. It's like, let's go to the cafe. Let's have a little cafe al bar, Let's talk a little bit Napoli. But let's start with Spalletti, I think. Let's start with Spalletti because ADL, There's so much to say there. My God. And I just trying to catch my breath a little bit before we get into that. But
yeah,
Spalletti
that
today,
ADL one's gonna raise my blood pressure just a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna
let's start off small. Let's give him let's feed a couple of appetizers before we get to the main course.
Right. Let's get there slowly. Let's work our way. So Spalletti had the press conference today, like I said, at Castel Volturno. He answered a few questions. Now, overall, if I had to give a couple words for it, professional, calm, poised, slightly cookie cutter, but I don't think he was sitting there trying to cause any drama today. I really don't think so. You know, he answered his questions pretty directly today, Spalletti, and I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a good job. You know, he wasn't too emotional, and I don't think he gave out too much. I don't think he is. Again, I don't think he's trying to start any controversy. If I had to say, I think Spalletti today really was just trying to get on the. Really was just trying to get on the good side of the fans, because one thing that he said was that he had been to, you know, he coached in Rome where the Pope was. You know, he coached in Russia where the Tsars are. Now he's going to coach at the home of Maradona, and he feels like his soul has completed its journey in a sense. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. So he is super happy to be here. He is super happy about the challenge. And again, like I said, he's really trying to get onto the fans onto the good side of the fans, which I think Carmine, is a pretty good start.
I think that's a great start. It's a great start. It's specifically when you're talking about Napoli fans, because if you get off to a bad foot with our group, you're not going to recover from that ever again. No. And Spalletti knows this. And, you know, I kind of, when Spalletti was having his spells with Roma, and every time he came up against Napoli, you can kind of see it, even from his point of view, that in a way he kind of always liked the team in the city, and he always gave us a hard time. Right. He always gave us a hard time when we were playing. And, you know,
as they always do, right? You know,
they always do. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Spalletti coming back. Okay,
coming back, looking good at liking the team. Yeah,
yeah. And you know what? At first, I wasn't on board with the Spalletti move, mainly because of the fact that I think he is past his prime, and a lot of what Spalletti has done in the past, specifically with his last, or not his last spell. Was his last spell at Roma? I can't remember what team it was.
I know he went to Russia. He came back for a little bit to Roma.
Yeah, but what he did with Roma and the Totti situation, you know, that kind of made me uneasy. And, you know, we're getting into an era of Napoli now where, you know, we have guys like Dries Mertens, you know, that's getting up in age, and Spalletti doesn't like using people that are getting a little bit older. So there could be some tension there. Like, there's a bunch of things that made me uneasy.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to watch the interview today. I did see, I saw snippets here and there, and I read some quotes, but like you said, cookie cutter, very straightforward, professional. But you know what? He still had that like little underlying, you know, that Spalletti banter, that little lightheartedness, you know. Right. When he's talking about Emerson, is Emerson coming? Right. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Like stuff like that.
Wants to eat a steak every day.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Which, you know, keeps it lighthearted. Keeps it, you know, keeps you on your toes too, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think he picked the best route. Just go professional, get on the fan side, get everyone on board with him, and then start working towards, you know, whatever he's looking towards. Which I think is Champions League position. He said this year.
Yes, that was his obsession, quote unquote, will be to get back to Champions League. So
you know what, I can't be mad at it. If that's what he wants to achieve and that's what we can achieve, then by all means do what you got to do.
So be it.
Yeah, so exactly.
Scoundrel Pilled here. Emerson confirmed. Scoundrel. Now, confirmed, no. I don't think we're going to get any confirmations until this Euro is done. I think the first line of business is Insigne. And again, we're going to get into that when we talk about ADL real quick. But I think that's going to be the first line of business, because that could determine, first of all, what if we get any money from that, and what type of position we will take, and more importantly, what we will need. But what I will say is that Spalletti is 100% in for getting Emerson. That's certainly. He said specifically that he likes the team. He said specifically that he wouldn't touch anybody on the team to leave. That he's already vetoed certain sales. And he said, really, the only thing I need is a left back. Give me a left back and maybe a midfielder, and I'll be all right. So is Emerson confirmed? I can't say officially yes. But if I had to guess that if he's confirmed, or at the very least the purchase of a left back is, I can confidently say yes. So I hope that answers your question.
I can see that happening too. The only problem I see is that now these, mind you, like you said at the start of the episode, a lot of what we're seeing now, ever since before ADL and even up until this point, broke the silence, is a lot of news reports, media reports. And I don't know how many times I have to say this, but Italian media sucks. It is awful at times. Like, I just read today, Tutto Sport, which already is a terrible source in my eyes, Insigne leaving for 20 million euros. Like, you're getting the problem is you get good reports mixed in with the bad, and then you don't know what's happening anymore.
Right.
So the only problem that I have seen consistently, though, with the Emerson deal is that ADL doesn't like the fact that he's worth 20 or 25 million for a left back that's hardly played for Chelsea this season.
Okay.
But having said that, watching that last game Italy played,
right,
Insigne and Emerson on that left side looked amazing. And honestly, for the first 70 minutes or so, it was Insigne, Emerson, Verratti versus the world in the Spain game.
Right.
In my opinion.
Definitely was.
That connection looked really good, and even though it's a little bit steep. Oh, is that my sister walking by?
Hey, sis.
Oh, okay.
She was trying to photobomb. That's okay.
It's okay. As I was saying, even though the price may be a little bit steep for 2020, I don't think it's steep. 20 million euros. I mean, I'd go for that any day of the week. You need that. You need that position, because right now, who are we left with? Maximovic is gone. Right. Mario Rui's gone. Hizai's gone.
Hizai's gone, right.
Like, we're thin. We need something. We need something. So it's either you bite the bullet and you pay for that 20, 25 million, or you try to negotiate, or we're just left high and dry, which I don't think is going to happen. So
I mean, right. It's impossible not to buy a left back at this point. I mean,
exactly.
Goulam's injured. Like you said, Hizai's gone. Rui, whatever. Well, I mean, who's left? I don't even, unless we have some. I know we got a couple youngsters, but we all know how we feel about that. But I think it's evident that we need one. I think we'll make some type of sale in order to finance this operation. But on top of everything, I'm more confident that we will pursue somebody because Spalletti's like, just get me a left back. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah,
it's almost reminiscent of Sadi when Sadi came. Sadi was like, I'm good with this team. I'll make something of it. Spalletti's is a similar type of guy.
It's a low maintenance.
Yeah, he's low maintenance.
It's not, and you know what? ADL is probably like seething at the teeth because of this. He's like, oh, I don't have to. I'm like, this is perfect for me. I have the team set up. I just need to make a couple of transfers here and there.
Right.
This is a beautiful situation for both of them.
Right.
And you know what? I can't be mad at it either. Usually every transfer market, I'm like, we got to sign like one of the top one, at least a top player. Right. We got to sign depth. At this point, seeing how the team is set up, I'm fine with a left back in the center mid. Like the team is good. The team is good. Just keep it simple.
Just keep it simple. We don't need to do much. And I think that's why ADL calls Sadi and then Spalletti, because this is consistent with Spalletti, by the way. It's not like, he came to Napoli, said, it's good enough. No. He's the type of guy that he likes to go into a team with a team and says, this is what I got. Good enough. I'll make something of it. And Sadi did the same thing, and he did. I mean, he came 4 points away from winning the damn championship. So I think it's consistent of him. And like you said, ADL licking his chops like, good. you better like it because I just spent a boatload of money and I'm not really going to spend much more,
Exactly.
There's all this talk about again, we'll get into it about the contracts and yada, yada, yada. But I think more importantly, Rafa Rispo on the show had said that Spalletti was kind of a side. It was like a lateral move to Gattuso, which is maybe a little. I don't know. What do you think, Carmine? I feel like it's a little siding up. Maybe I don't know.
I was just thinking about this today, and the way I'm seeing it now is that Napoli is going through a perfect rebuild. To be honest with you.
Thank you.
Napoli's going through a perfect rebuild, and let me explain this to you right now. Gattuso was an interim coach. Gattuso was to take a team that was in shambles and make something out of it.
Right.
Now the team they're made something out of it. They're in a good position.
Right.
They came off, even though they lost that last game of the season, which I think we'll talk about later in the conference. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we won't talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna talk a little about Verona. It was a tie though, not a loss, but but it felt like a loss.
It felt like a loss. Oh, they didn't lose. It was a tie, but I thought it was a loss. That's how much it affected me. So, going into that last bit of the season, they looked good. They were high in spirits. That team looked like it was coming together again.
Right.
ADL says, well, we'll get into this after, that Gattuso was going to leave regardless. Fine, whatever. He's gone. Now we have a coach that comes in and, like you said, takes the team with what it's got and makes something out of it. It's the perfect transition.
Right.
The guy sets up the team. He brings it to where where they have to be. And now another guy who takes the team as it is brings them a little bit further.
Right.
And then I believe the next step is going to be that winning coach. That's how I see this progression going along.
So you think? Let me ask you then. So you think after Spalletti, there's gonna be another level to this shit, man? Right?
Yeah, I'm saying like a world class coach coming in. Like, not to say that Spalletti and Gattuso aren't world class. Spalletti is a world class coach, but I'm saying like a coach that like an Allegri sort of deal comes in. That's because, like you said, we have to get the Champions League first. Without the Champions League money, we can't do it. There's not much we can do. Europa League's not going to fund our operations.
Sure.
Right? And
close.
we have to do something during the season, maybe a Coppa Italia, maybe like something in between. But we have to start somewhere, build off that, and then I see like that final step being like an Allegri or something coming in to finish the team off.
Right. Interesting.
That's just my vision. That's the way I see it.
No, it's a good take, guys. If you're in the chat, please let us know what you think of that. I thought it was a pretty good take. Pasquale Napolitano. Yeah, but won't ADL want to sell some players since they won't have that Champions League money? Yes. We're gonna finish off Spalletti, Pasquale, and then we're gonna get into this right away because this is the $40 million question. Okay, but all in all, Spalletti wants to take this team back to the promised land. All right. Will we be Scudetto contenders?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Hey, listen, we weren't supposed to be last season, and if it wasn't for all those injuries, who knows what could have happened.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna rule out ever Napoli for Scudetto because they've been a top tier team. Now I know sometimes that's not good enough for our fans. Fine, we didn't win a Scudetto yet. Fine, but we've got to enjoy a competitive Napoli for over a decade. I mean, let's keep it real here. We still get to – we're not in 10th. We're not in 12th. Some people say, oh, we're having a bad year. We're going back to Serie B. Give me a break. Stop it. Stop it. You guilty. But at least you admit when your emotions get the best of you. It's different. Some people believe this shit. Some people believe that this team – is a Serie B team. No, are you nuts?
No, that's outrageous.
Are you nuts? Our striker is worth more than most Serie B teams.
Actually, you can put most Serie B teams combined and they still wouldn't add up to Osimhen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you understand how much asset we got on the freaking field? Chill out with the Serie B talk, all right? And I forgive you, Carmine. I just want you to know. Don't worry about it. All right. We forgive, we forget. That's all. It's all good. But
it was a heated moment, and I said something I shouldn't have.
Was it in December, January? Because everybody gets a pass that month. I think
you know what? It was during that time, and we had just lost 2-1 to Spezia.
Yeah.
We were leading the game and then we lost.
We lost. Okay.
I just absolutely lost it that day. Yeah, like if you were in my house, you would have been scared. Like my parents were like, calm down, it's just a game. I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the point. It's not just a game. Yeah,
right. It's more than just a game. Right.
That was a dodgy time. But like you said, with the injuries and all that, it's easy to get clouded. It's easy to be blinded by that fact. Right. But like you said, without all the injuries, this team is solid. And like staying steady at B, like that's outrageous. We are Scudetto contenders.
Sure.
We are. Definitely. Like I'm saying, like with a proper left back, Emerson, wink.
Yeah.
And a center mid, like that's all we need to be top 3.
That's it.
So
we don't
come.
And that's it. Spalletti got the team. He likes the team. He spoke about, guys, get ready for the 4-2-3-1 again. All right? Just get ready. That he said it today. This is my base. My base is 4-2-3-1. And then there was a reporter that spoke about, will you do a 4-3-3? And he said, listen, it really depends on who we're playing. Our base is 4-2-3-1, and we can transition into a 4-3-3 when needed. They can change their tactics, their formations, and their game plan on the fly. And you know what? They have the guys to do that. They have the guys that could transition into that formation when needed. We saw them going back to a 4-4-2 for defense. We saw them sometimes doing even a 3-5-2 every now and then. I think we can mold them a little bit better, this team, than any other team we've had in the past. So I'm curious to see how that works out. He did say something important. He said he dreams of a cheeky team. He used that word cheeky. Cheeky.
Interesting. What does that mean then? I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, if I had to guess, listen, I know with Inter, he liked to have Icardi kind of running up straight up the middle and getting a nice cross. He had the height, he had the strength, he had the skill to get that ball and shoot with basically nobody in front of him. He was able to get past his defender, get the ball, shoot, score a goal. I don't think he can do the same here. Now, I'm not saying that Osimhen is not capable of, but I don't think that's in Napoli's game plan. We're a bit of a shorter team, which means if we're going to say cheeky, can we be a little bit more cheeky with the ball on the ground? You know, can we? All right, we can do some long balls. We did it a lot last season, you know, but I think he wants to see some more creativity, more or less, if I had to guess. And
you probably start seeing something like what he did with Roma, because they had a lot of skilled players, technical players on the field, and they played that. I'm guessing what he would call it a cheeky ball, where they did play creative football on the field, and you have the players to do it. You have Mertens, you have Insigne, you have I was going to say Fabian to distribute, but we'll get into that after. Okay. Osimhen, like the players are there to do it. Right. It's just kind of interesting to see what they are going to do, because Spalletti, like we said, the 4-2-3-1, first of all, was never Gattuso's forte, I guess you could say. It was more of a 4-3-3 that he always would set up in, or like a 4-4-2 sort of thing. Right. This is Spalletti's forte, and now the team knows how to play in a 4-2-3-1. Right. So maybe they're more comfortable this year. Maybe you start seeing things a little bit differently. Sure. Maybe, even though they'll play like Spalletti likes to play somewhat of a more attacking game, that's going to contrast very well with how Gattuso would play a more defensive style of game. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what could happen. I expect a lot of changes, but very minor changes, if you get what I'm saying, right? There's going to be a lot of minor changes that is going to accumulate to a big difference that we see in this team. Right. And I hope one of those changes is going to be the winning mentality. Because Condrapil asked, besides aiming for the Champions League, can we take home a trophy? Yeah. And again, this is like the $40-50 million question. Can we take home a trophy? My short answer is yes. Yeah. I think we can take home a trophy. At least one. Something. The Scudetto? Maybe. But it's going to be really challenging.
Now we're in the Europa League. They asked Spalletti about, how do you feel about the Europa, and he was like, listen, I I care. I care about the Coppa Italia. I care about Europa League. I care about the Scudetto. I care about any tournament. Now, was that just a kind of dry cookie cutter answer? I mean, is the coach going to say, no, I don't care about Europa League? No, he's not going to say that. But he did say it was his obsession to finish on the top 4. Rafa Rispo said in a few episodes earlier that, hey, our goal should be in Napoli to get back to the top 4. And I know sometimes that's not good enough for people. It's like, well, that's all we are. We're just between the 2 to 5th place team, yada yada yada. But listen, the financial implications of finishing in that top 4. And our boy Sone Mendes and Michael from Calcio Napoli Club said, listen, the financial implications of getting back to top 4, even if you don't win the Scudetto, are huge. It's huge money. It's too big not to care about. It is an accomplishment. And we're gonna have an episode. We're gonna talk about the state of soccer and things like that. I want to get into it one day soon. But hey, listen. I know we want that Scudetto, and we hope every year. There's not one fan of a team who doesn't hope their team is not going to win the Scudetto or is going to win the Scudetto. Every fan wants that. Who doesn't want the chip? But there is more to it than just the chip nowadays with the Champions League and all this other stuff. But can we win a trophy? We can win at least one. Carmine, what do you think? And then we're going to get into it.
I think so. Yeah. I don't see why not. I like genuinely like a Coppa Italia is well within our reach. I fully expect, honestly, if there is a trophy we're going to win, it's going to be another Coppa Italia. Scudetto, I'm a believer. I like to dream. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Yeah. Max Allegri's back at Juve. That's a big move. Yeah. And Allegri knows how to win a Scudetto.
He can ball.
He plays, even though he plays what people like to call boring defensive football. Who cares? He gets the results. He knows how to win. Inter is going to be another threat.
Mourinho and Roma. I mean, we'll see.
Roma, like anything could have happened. Right. Scudetto is going to be tough. A Europa League also simultaneously just as tough. Mm-hmm. Is it doable? For sure. Honestly, we could have done it this year too, but injuries and all that, and we didn't perform well in a lot of games. But besides the point, is it doable? Possible. But like you said, Raf, to me, honestly, all I care, I'm setting my expectations at Champions League. Anything above that, gravy. Right. That's perfect for me.
Right.
So, and honestly,
and for the good of anybody's health, I think they should do the same thing.
For my own sanity, for my own blood pressure, everything.
Right.
Go low.
Expect less. Right.
Expect less, and anything on top of that is perfect.
It's bonus. Right. And you'll never be upset. Yeah. Just hope for the worst, and and you'll never be upset. Right?
Exactly. No, but honestly, even if we get Champions League, I'm happy because exactly, Raf, a trophy.
I take 4 more Coppa Italia and that Silver Star. True.
I take a trophy any day of the week. And
back to this winning mentality.
Exactly. Back to the winning mentality. And even just knowing the fact that you're going to be in a Champions League again next year, besides the fact of the financial implications, that's a whole monster in its own. That's a big plus. Just having that thought that, look, we've accomplished so much and we're back into this position, back to where we belong.
Right.
That to me is a win. That to me is worth just as much as a trophy, to be honest with you. Especially from the last 2 seasons where we missed out. Right. I want to see him back again. So, can we win a trophy? Yes. Will we win a trophy? I think so. At least one. But you know what? Get back to Champions League. I'm happy.
Yeah. Get back to winning form. Let's see an organized Napoli. Let's see health, just a healthy Napoli.
Yes.
So let's see that for Spalletti and the boys. But let's move on. I want to spend maybe another 20 minutes here because this is I can only do 20 minutes because that's as much as the blood pressure medication will be able to handle. But DeLaurentiis, I'm calling this one. Not my president, because for some, this is kind of like a double entendre here,
Okay.
for some people, yeah, I'm definitely an ADL supporter. I've been a pro supporter. We got a few people in the chat who are back and forth. I defined you as kind of a centrist. I don't know if that's a good word for you, Carmine. A bit of a centrist.
I feel
pretty much
I
of a
feel like
central
that's
figure.
the perfect way to describe me. I am not an ADL hater, but I'm not an ADL hater by any means of the word. But I am very critical. I think that's a difference. I do love what he's done for the team, but I also try to
see it started.
see.
That's okay. Hey, okay, that's okay here, guys. Fair enough. We were good. We expected this. I expected this. Rafa Rispo, on the other hand, my president. But Rafa, I'm sorry, Carmen, I'm going to let you continue. I don't mean it at he's not my president. It's like a double entendre. I'm trying to be cute here. I'm just saying, like, hey, you're dissing my president. Hey, not my president. He's not like that. Yeah. My president, I think, is like this. Some people think he's like that. Rob Napoli, I hope you're still there watching, man. Me and him were talking back and forth. We got into a big discussion in the Facebook group about this, but I'm sorry, Carmen, interrupt you. We said you're a bit of a centrist, and I maybe that's why I got you here. I needed you to kind of level me out, just in case I went off. Hit the emergency button. I
try to stay as level-headed as possible.
Yeah, or if I call 911 if I pass out. I don't know. But tell me just in a few words, like overall ADL right now. How do you feel? Like, all right. Maybe we can start at the Napoli-Verona game if we want. We can, if you want to start there. I don't care. Take it away. Don't let me.
So, like, do you want me to speak about like what happened before the game? Because that's a bit different.
I mean,
like with the fans and stuff like that. Because
yes. All right. Let's start there because that shit pissed me off. I was not happy. Okay. So we can agree there. Okay,
we can agree there. That pissed me off too because in a crucial moment, in a do or die moment, there was no. Raf, is it okay if I swear right now?
Yeah, you can let
There is no fucking reason. There is no fucking reason for our fans to go out there and disrespect and basically
bullshit.
Bring down the high that we were on. We were on a winning streak. We were on a winning streak. We had lost in, I think, 12 or 13 games.
Like 10
we
games.
hadn't lost. Right. We were a couple points away from a Champions League position, and now, Madonna, you come outside and say, screw you guys. What's the point?
Right.
Let these guys play. You couldn't wait a week? You couldn't wait a week.
No patience.
You couldn't wait a day. Not even a week. You couldn't wait You couldn't wait 3 hours. Let the match play out and then come.
Right.
Like, are you? What's the point of that? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Right. That really pissed me off, and I feel like in a way that affected the team.
I agree. I'm with you there. What the hell? Like, you couldn't be patient for like one more week. For what? Gattuso maybe missed Rafa. Okay. That's crazy. But I see what you meant. There.
All right.
Napoli fans are extremely fickle, according to.
Well, Rafa, you should know this because you deal with me half the time.
Right. Okay. right. No, but here's the deal. Everybody's like, "What happened with Napoli Verona? What happened?" I'll tell you what happened. You stupid asses were outside chanting against the president. All right, yeah, you may have been for the team and for Gattuso. Well, I'm glad you were for Gattuso because he left. Bye, Gattuso. He's gone. And hey, thank you for your work. I got nothing to say bad about Gattuso. Number one, he said not one bad thing about this club. He did his job. He had to eat shit on this team for the past year and a half.
Yeah,
I got nothing bad to say about the guy. But goddamn, what's up, Nicholas? How are you going to be out there, Carmine? This is the most important game. This was the game.
Yeah.
The game. I mean, we said it that last season was literally going to come down to the wire. And it did. It literally came down to the last day. We did not know place 2 2-5 until the last game's results for every team that was fighting for those positions. Unprecedented. Something we haven't seen in decades almost. Crazy. And you're going to sit there and put this type of pressure and you wonder what happened? Maybe this is what happened. Maybe you need to keep your heads a little bit better, Napoli. I'm going to hold you accountable because just like ADL does to you, y'all need a little bit of tough love and a little bit of reality. Just chill out. Just chill out. What was that shit?
It was completely uncalled for. Now, there was a culmination of things that were going on that day that may have affected the results of that match. First of all, ADL said it himself. Gattuso wasn't going to stay regardless.
Yes.
So maybe in the locker room before the match, they're like, what are we, like, maybe they're saying they're uneasy before winning the match. Like, he's not staying here. Like, what are we going to do? Then a lot of things are running through their minds. So they're already in a mental state that is not favorable for going into a match.
Right. Definitely a sensitive place.
You are pulling into the stadium because they pull into the stadium together from Casa Volturno. You're pulling into the stadium expecting these guys have our backs. These guys are with us right now. If there's one thing we can hold on to, it's our fans.
Right.
You pull into the stadium and these guys are chanting against you. They are just like belittling you from the moment you walked into the ground.
Right.
And you're already in this mental state that you are with a coach that everyone was behind. I felt like the team was really behind him, and him leaving may have affected their mentality a bit.
Right.
But then now you're compounding with the fact that the fans are protesting.
Right.
As if the club is going bankrupt and as if they're going out of business.
Right.
Like
chill.
There was no point. Let the team play. If you wanted to protest, wait till after. If anything, after the game would have been the best time to protest. Let's say the results stayed the same. Then I would have been like, okay, maybe you have a point. Maybe you have a point to go out there and you can express your grievances. But before the match, when there was already a bunch of things going on in their minds prior to them arriving to the stadium, that's just like, it's messed up to me. Like, I just can't understand it.
So I'm with you there, Carmine, when I'm 100%. I want to get into a couple comments here. One that you're going to like, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to get to Rafa Rispos. Anyone that suggests that Napoli didn't play for or purposely didn't try for champions for Gattuso or against ADL is just plain wrong. I'm agree with my friend here. I've said it so many times. It's the mentality at the core. You can literally go to our first episode, and this is exactly what Rafa Rispo says. His opinion has been consistent. Now I want to get into Rob Napoli because, listen, I'm going to beat up on the Napoli fans here, and I think Rob Napoli is a great, by the way, member of CNC. He's a good friend of mine, and I have a ton of respect for him. But we disagree. And you know what, people? You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed. You could still root for Napoli and disagree. All right? You don't have to call. Me and Rob don't call each other's names. We don't say you're stupid or you're clueless or you don't know any better. Or wake up, open your... No, we don't say that. We just have a difference of opinion, and we express it. And then we let the results do the rest of the talking, okay? And at the end of the day, we're going to sit by the bar and have a beer. We had this 66-comment conversation on Facebook, and we ended it, hey, man, let's go have a beer. And Rob was like, I'm buying, even though we live in two different states. But that is the spirit that I want to represent. But... he says, ha, because he knows. We went back and forth. But he says here, you see this shit in the military when you have a poor chain of command. Who's at the top of this command? I'll tell you, Rob, who's at the top of that command. Not just Napoli, because we're speaking about the Tifoso here that were outside. I want to know who's at the top of their command, Rob. Who told them to go to, in the last game, the most critical one, not only just for Napoli, for every team playing there, and go and bitch about the Silencio Stampa and ADL being rude. It's like, get over it, man. Let them play. Ever since the Silencio Stampa, and Rafa Rispo backed me on this, and Carmine, you as well, we said it in the past year. Ever since the Silencio Stampa, we were undefeated practically. We didn't lose, or we tied and won, but we didn't lose. So, you know, is Rob? Is he perfect? No. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. Can he? And Rob, I'm gonna get into something for all the people listening to this. I'm gonna get into it. There is some things that I don't like about ADL, and I'm gonna air my grievances here, but I'm gonna hold certain people accountable first, because here's the deal. First of all, if you are an anti-Gattuso, Carmine, if anybody here was anti-Gattuso, okay, then they are on the side with ADL, because ADL was like, I don't like the inconsistency. He said this in the press conference, that he didn't like the inconsistency that was going on with Gattuso and the way he was managing the team. And he knew that I'm going to have to part ways with this guy. Now, coming into the 2020-2021 season, there just wasn't enough time to do a proper market, according to ADL. So he ended up keeping Gattuso, but thought maybe he should go. Anyway, he offered him the other contract. He offered an extension. Gattuso didn't take it. He said there was a few things. There was like all these lines that they ended up adding, all these lawyers, and then they didn't agree, and then they didn't sign. And, well, we all know what happened there. Gattuso left, went to Fiorentina, then not went to Fiorentina, then went to Tottenham, then not went to Tottenham. But either way, ADL shit on Gattuso a little bit. He said he didn't like his consistency. On top of that, he did a small dig on him, Carmine, in the press conference. I don't know if you heard it.
I honestly, that press conference, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I was Eduardo. My eyes were shutting. I started to fall asleep because, gonna be honest, he just rambled. It was like an old man just rambling for an hour. It was. Listen, everybody felt like Ido DeLaurentiis watching that, okay? I literally watched this thing, maybe I had to go back 2-3 times because, like, I was like, all right, this is so dense. You know, he's like talking about Illuminati and all this shit. And again, and that's my general complaint about ADL, is that he just talks too damn much. But Rob, like, he was talking about how with the fans not in the stands, that all these stadiums felt like aquariums or something like that. Like it was like an aquarium. ADL said this, all right? Hilarious, by the way. I mean, whatever, you know? I mean, it's just one of his, it's
maybe, I don't know. Yeah, one of his rants, right. He got in a script in one of his shit movies. But like, but he talks about this, and then he starts to say, Carmine, this is hilarious. And if anybody saw this, I don't know if they caught it, but he was like, there's certain, and you should understand right when I say this, there's certain voices on the field that just become protagonistic, he said. Basically, he said, because there's no fans in the stands, and obviously it was quiet, and what was that loud, penetrating voice that we constantly heard on the side? Go, oh! Hey! Just Gattuso screaming. And even Quagliarella had something to say about it. Like, you're going to telegonista, you know. So, come on. Let's admit, as much as we loved it, and I kind of loved it a little bit, it was a little obnoxious, okay? And ADL said this. He was like, the voice, you know, it was antagonistic, and it messed with the flow of the game, and it's like you prepared these players and then you're yelling at them constantly. He's like, so I think ADL was just quite annoyed with Gattuso. He was just like, I'm done with this guy, you know.
That's probably what it was. That's probably what it was, and he may have been annoyed at the fact that, you know, with the contract and negotiations really may have set him off a little bit. That's another reason why he may have been annoyed. But, like, honestly, Gattuso's, like, to say stuff like that, like, you know, when you sign Gattuso, you know what you're getting into. You know the hothead that he is. Right? So, like,
right.
What'd you expect?
Well, I mean, listen, he was, let's keep it real. It was basically saying, like, Gattuso was a bit of a placeholder. They used him to get out of a mess, and he did the job fine. But he wasn't basically, he wasn't what ADL was looking for, period. And that was the end of that, okay? But he never said anything bad about him. I backtracked ADL's tweets all the way to freaking October because that's as far as I can go. Not one negative fucking tweet. Not one negative tweet. Not about ADL, not about the team, nothing. The only thing he bitched at was the journalist. So I always find it a little curious that when journalists do report about ADL, it's always like to set him up. For some kind of fire or something like that. And it's like, go figure. He does, listen, one thing ADL doesn't like, and he said it again in his press conference, he doesn't like international duty, all right? He doesn't like the fact that he has to take, or not just him, but all club owners take all the risk with these players and are guaranteed zero protection from the federations or from FIFA or UEFA to enter all these competitions. Look at Spinazzola. Out for a year with an Achilles. He was just running, for crying out loud. Now Martin's got to get shoulder surgery. We missed out on Ozinen for 3 months. I mean, $70 million and we don't get him for 3 months? That probably cost us the Champions League qualification. Because you saw what happened when he got back. You saw what happened. Can you imagine if those 3 months he had that time to basically build and get better and get acclimated to the league? What we would have seen at all? He could have been easily over 20 goals. We could have easily gotten into the Champions League. But no, we missed out because he got injured. Now, hey, listen, I'm not against international duty. I love watching international duty, and the players love international duty. It's a source of pride for them. But let's keep it real. You got to with the market you got nowadays, 50 million, 70 million, 100 million, 120, $10 million a year. Come on.
You need some protection.
You need some protection, like an insurance policy or something.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to agree with him there. I don't see how he's wrong in that statement because it's not just we're going to talk about us because we're talking about Napoli and that's what we do, but like every team has to go through it. And you know what? ADL is right. I never really thought about it up until you just brought it up right now. But as you're speaking about it, and I heard a little bit of the press conference, but like I said, I was half in, half out because it was just so much rambling.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was just so much fluff when really it can be condensed into 3 sentences what he wanted to say. But it was just, he's right. Like these players are going out, and I love, like you said, I love international play. I love watching Italy play, especially with Mancini at the helm. Like this team is just, it's beautiful to watch, and the players love it. But there's times where like the international friendlies, I'm like, is it useful? Like, do we need to do this right now? There's no need, because every time a player goes out for international friendlies, the first thing that comes to my mind is who's going to come back alive.
Yeah, right. Please don't get hurt. Right.
Because like who's going to come back in one piece?
Right.
Because when Mertens got injured and then he started going for international duty, I was watching Belgian games specifically saying, don't roll that ankle again. Don't just leave that ankle alone.
And it gave him a little trouble. Yeah, it gave him a little bit of trouble. I was watching Nigeria. I never watched a Nigeria game in my life. I was watching Nigeria games just to make sure that Osimhen stays okay. Right.
If I'm bearing this responsibility, I can only imagine what ADL is thinking.
Seriously.
At the time. And he has all the risk involved.
Sure. He has all the risk.
So yeah, he's right. I fully back that statement. There should be some sort of policy in place where if there is an injury, they should get some sort of compensation for it. It's not like UEFA doesn't have the money.
Yeah. Right. So come on. At least insure them. So if they get hurt, like a portion of this fee or something got to go back to the club.
Or at least salary something that they don't go to the negatives. Something.
Right.
I agree. 100%.
Especially if it's going to affect, you're not talking about a backup. You're talking about your star striker, man. And it's yeah, I think it really hurt us. But so that's number one. Fans, you need to be patient. You can't be complaining outside of the stadium about what's going on or about when Napoli needs to be focused. We need to be focused. We cannot we can take our emotion and we can use it as the fuel to our fire, which is great. Napoli's heart is bigger than any team's budget, is bigger than any team's popularity. That's what we have the most, is our heart. This whole Papone stuff, And by the way, if people 10, if that's you, El Nap, say hi. Another member of CNC who is very outspoken about ADL. But again, this is just how we feel. Now, people for president, he says. So look, you got some fans here, bro. You got some fans here. But no, yes, it's El Nap. Hello, El Nap. What's going on? So, again, there's Rob, El Nap. These are guys, we get into it every day. But here's the other thing. Because we're going to get into Insigne last, and then we'll cut out of here, Carmine. But there is one thing. I will speak bad about ADL right now, okay? Just to make everybody happy. Because I don't want you to think that I'm sitting here blindly, that everything ADL does I love, all right? I'm tired of ADL using Napoli as a platform to bitch about everything, all right? About UEFA, about FIFA. Like, I get it. He's a president. They ask him questions. He needs to respond. He has his right because it does affect him and the team and his decision. But you got into talking about Illuminati, my dude. All right? Swear to God. Talking about Illuminati. Yeah, in the press conference. It's probably when you fell asleep.
Did he actually? I cannot believe that.
He was talking. He fucking said Illuminati, dude. This is real. He was talking about there's a club out there, and if you're not, it's the same tinfoil hat shit. If you're in this club, and maybe it's true because I don't know. He spoke about gambling, which I'm with him on there. But he spoke about this, club, and if you're not in it, you won't be favored, and yada yada yada. So he started speaking about Illuminati. He started speaking about about fairness and all these things, and that if you're not in it, they had asked him questions about the Super League and things like that, and everybody was a bit against the Super League, and so was he. He said it was unfair the way they had it set up. He said that it should be set up that other teams can make it in, and some type of relegation, but the way it was set up, he didn't like it. Fine. I think we can all agree with him there, right? Most of us can agree with his feelings about Gattuso. Most of us can agree with some things about the media massacring. What's the correct term? Just destroying Napoli and Gattuso and everybody. That he was protecting the team, and it worked because we didn't lose after that. So I'm with him there. But this whole all that fat in the interview needed to be cut out. All that shit that made me, you, and Edo DeLaurentiis fall asleep needed to be cut out.
I agree. 100%.
Stop bitching about the Illuminati using Napoli as your platform. I think if you can just shut up a little bit about some of these things, I think the fans will like you a little bit more. All right? I defended his markets. I don't like when he's a dick sometimes. When it's like you don't got to throw your own players under a bus. He said that, maybe I shouldn't have made these 2 purchases. Dude, shut up. You made the purchases. Live with it. Okay? So what are you talking and who are you talking about? Because I think from February 2020, he made only a couple purchases, one of them being Osimhen. You're talking about the kid who just comes back after COVID, a broken shoulder, and practically a concussion, and scores in every game. All right? This guy is going to be hot fire by next season. And you're going to sit here and you're going to make it seem like you regret the purchase? That's not good business, ADL. Like, you're not giving confidence to your purchase. That's $70 million that you got to worry about now, okay? You need to instill the confidence of San Gennaro inside this kid so he can come back next season and be your stud and be your stallion and score the goals and be the player we all feel like he can be. You don't knock your purchases, dude. Chill with that. When they put on a Napoli jersey, they represent your team. You bought them. You signed the fucking contract. You put up the money. Don't renege. Don't go back now. Do you want to chime in there?
Ralph.
You're still on the Illuminati thing, right?
Huh?
No, go on. Like,
oh, my bad.
No, go on.
I said this. I'm glad that you brought it up because it just made me smile.
Sure.
I said this, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago on another podcast.
All right.
Where the reason why Napoli has mentality issues is because of ADL.
Okay.
Partly.
I'll give you some of that.
and you just explained it to a T right now why that is.
Right.
Like,
right.
Okay. I'm going to try to put this in the best way possible. ADL, if Insigne is sold, I hope it'll Jose.
He sells Napoli.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
No, ADL deserves this. He deserves it. You want to talk shit? That. I hold everybody accountable. Tough love, including for my president.
Listen, and you know my stance on ADL. Like you said, I'm a centrist. I love what he has done. And honestly, the moves that he has made recently are perfect moves financially. You know, getting that deal with PES, renaming the training, even though you have to rename the training center, so be it. You know, it's
Rob. What about me? You know, come on, man.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. But you know, like all the stuff that he has done, signing Osimhen, you know, bringing in Spalletti, which may be a good move. We have to see how this plays out. He has made fantastic moves since 2004 up until this point. I'm not going to deny him anything of that. He has done perfectly for this club. He has things that I've criticized him on, you know, like youth development, you know, marketing, social media, brand exposure elsewhere.
Right.
Stuff like that. But when it comes to one of the things that I just cannot stand from ADL is the fact that he doesn't keep his mouth shut.
Yes.
Is the fact that he does not shut up for a moment. And it was evident in that interview. Like you said, ADL just kept talking. He just kept talking. And he just kept talking. And it was like 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, buddy, let's get this over with. Right. Because I don't want to hear half the stuff that he had to say. Half the stuff that he said was completely irrelevant to me. It had no difference on what my views were for the team, or it had no difference on anything. He just kept talking because he created a platform for himself to speak. It was like he had all this pent up sort of ideas and I guess you can say aggressions, and he just let it out for an hour and how long? 20 minutes? An hour and whatever it was on that interview. And a lot of that could have been condensed down to half an hour. It was
probably almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
Yes. You know why? Listen, he didn't even come into the interview and take a question. He came into the interview and just started talking.
He just started talking.
About Draghi, about COVID, about the Campionato Passato, about
he just started talking. Like nobody asked him anything, and he's just like, "All right, you're all here now. Here's what I have to say." Like, no, man. And then you know, if he's doing that in public, just imagine what he's doing behind the scenes when he's talking to some of the players sometimes.
Right.
Like you said, he's regretting he's supposedly, the way he speaks, he's regretting some of the decisions he's made. You don't think Osimhen's going to listen to that and be like, well, what the fuck, man?
Right.
You bought me, like you wanted me here, and now you're bashing me?
Right.
And then the thing with Insigne, the re-signing the contract with Insigne. Oh, we'll see what happens.
Tread lightly here, Carmine, because this one, it's gonna blow a few fuses here.
Okay.
No. We're gonna get into it. I just saved the best for last because.
You know what? But I will save it. Okay,
go. Save it. Save it, and I'm gonna start. We'll start from there. Go on.
So and then
finish your thought.
Yeah, and then all of these signings, and then you know, sometimes he like takes shots, like little jabs at his staff, at his team. Like, you don't think all of this is going to accumulate in their heads and make them doubt themselves a little bit?
Right.
Like you'd have to be a little bit, honestly, a little bit delusional to think not.
Right.
So like, just for that instance. And that interview, like, I urge you to go watch it, but before you go to sleep, if you suffer from insomnia, please watch it. But it's better than melatonin. I'll give you that. But he just keeps rambling, and he doesn't shut up. And sometimes he says stuff, and that stuff gets taken out of context, and people read it, and then it just gets worse, and it's a snowball effect.
Right.
And it just affects their mentality. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Sometimes I wish I could just put duct tape on his mouth and just be like, shut up, buddy. Just be quiet, sit down, let them do their job.
Yes.
Let them do their job, because right now you're micromanaging. When you micromanage, nothing gets accomplished.
Right.
Let them do their job. You paid them. They brought their resume to you. You accepted it. Zito, go over there. Let them work. That's it.
People, I'm not gonna put that up, but yes, it's shit like that. Comments like if you're in the YouTube chat, I won't put it up, but we had kids watching the show.
That.
But it's true. It's shut up a little bit. I'm not against what you did for the team. You listen. It takes some good smarts and I think a good man and somebody who really wanted to move up. It takes a lot to buy a team for 30-something million that had no soccer balls to even practice with.
Yep.
And Serie A with no players and nothing, and turn him into a $500 million organization in Napoli. Napoli, one of the hardest places to even succeed. As beautiful as the city is, guys, as beautiful as it is, as beautiful as the culture is, and I love my family, my friends, everybody there, it is a difficult place, especially economically. It's a very hard place, okay? Yeah. There's a lot of... I'm not going to say much because I don't want anybody to get fucking kidnapped, one of my cousins, but there's a lot of shit that goes on, okay, that you have to deal with, that we don't know about, things that you can't Google and see, things that we just can't see that we have to deal with. And he does. Maybe that's why he called out Illuminati. Maybe that's why he called out all the betting, the shit in Singapore. That shit is real. You know what I mean? They bet on transfer markets. They bet on transfer markets. That's why all these reporters, they're going nuts. Are you going to trade him? Are you going to trade him? Are you going to trade him? Look, they said Saudi 70%. Oh, he's to Napoli and da-da-da-da-da and all that stuff. And then Saudi has a press release saying, they called me once and I never heard from them again. Meanwhile, oh no, ADL keeps calling him as if he's trying to call a jump off or something like that. No, and Saudi ended his statement with, "That is the truth. They called me once." And that was it. But no, the media didn't report that. Oh, he keep calling him. He's calling him. He met him here. He's trying to say how much and all that. It's all bullshit. So be careful. Be careful how you read some of these articles. Okay? Yeah. JC, I'm going to get into this because we saved the best for last. We saved the main course, the ribeye with the potatoes and the Chianti. We saved it for now. If Insigne leaves due to Aurelio's clown tactics, Aurelio is o papone. JCC, I couldn't thank you for being here, but I disagree with you, sir. And the reason is Insigne ain't gonna leave for clown tactics. Insigne is gonna leave because he's asking for $40 million. Okay, he's asking for $40 million for the next 4 years, and he's 30 years old. Now, I want Insigne to stay, but you got to understand that's not a number that you just take lightly. You don't just say, okay, it's 40 mil, you're 30 years old, take it. I know what he's doing with Italy. I know what he's done with the team, and I'm not going to deny any of that. And he's a captain. He wants to stay in Napoli, I'm pretty sure. But if Insigne is our Scudetto hero, Capitano, then why can't he just take a little bit less then? And don't tell me he's a papone, because in 2016, Insigne was getting paid what? If you want to break it down weekly, in 2016, Insigne was getting paid $20,000 a week. He now gets paid $150,000 a week, and that's 4 or 5 years later. So where's the papone? He's getting the money. This is just a question of whether we're going to keep him for another 4 years for that price, Carmine. And I want to know, $40 million, 4 years. This all started, by the way, with a stupid Instagram post. Because let me just, before I let you go here.
Yeah.
In the press conference, when they asked about Insigne, I want to know, people, is this an official thing? Because I bet ADL's offering him a pay cut. They're saying it was 3.5. And by the way, all those numbers you see are net pay. I want you to remember that. So when you see 5.5, that's his net pay. Really, he's asking for 10 or 11 or something like that. So he's asking for 40 mil, but between the taxes in Italy, it's 50%. So it comes about to 5.5. So if he's making 4.5 now, it means he's making about 8-9 million. So just so you know. I'm going to put this one up as I say this. I lost my train of thought a little bit here.
You were talking about the Instagram post.
The Instagram post. All this. Yes. In the press conference, Carmine, they asked ADL about Insigne's contract. And ADL, without hesitation, said, listen, The season, it came to an end. The camp started almost immediately after the game. Insigne went to the camp. I didn't want to do anything with the contract. It felt rushed. I said, you know what, Insigne, have a good time. Go to the Euros. Focus on that. Focus on that. And when you get back, we will talk about the contract. Yeah. Okay? That was it. That was his words. Done. Don't ask him any more questions about Insigne. All right? Because the answer is when he gets back, we'll worry about the contract. Okay?
Which is a more than fair statement. I mean,
it's true statement.
It gives him both time to sleep on it, too. Like, don't get, okay, he's offering a bit pay cut. I don't know about that. I didn't read anything about that. According to Info Meriggio, which I already don't believe as a source, he's offering a pay cut. I believe nothing. I agree, Rafa. I believe nothing. Because let's get this straight. In the press conference, ADL did talk about how COVID affected the books a bit, and a lot of teams are offering pay cuts to their players.
Right.
Milan has done it. Inter has done it. But Inter was already in financial trouble.
Not us. We paid all of them. We paid everybody in full. Our Papone paid everybody in full in January.
That's right. Go on, and that's one thing ADL does well. He's a great businessman. Yeah. He's never in the negative. In the last 10 years, I believe it is, only 2 teams in Europe have never been in the negative: Borussia Dortmund, Napoli. So there you go. There's that. Yeah. Okay. But offering him a pay cut, I don't believe. Now, going back to the $40 million for 4 years, maybe a bit steep. I'll give him that.
A
little bit steep. But that doesn't mean he's going to leave. I don't think Insigne is that pig-headed that he's going to be like this or nothing. Because he spent his life there. He is a staple to the city and is a staple to the team, and he realizes that.
Right.
And look, to get this straight, they both realize that. ADL realizes it, and Insigne realizes it. Now, is it a bargaining tactic? Maybe to up his salary a little bit, for sure. He'll deal with it. Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about it either.
Yeah. I think he's just Rafa's. Rafa's our. Yeah. He's in the chat right now.
Oh, he's in the chat. That's right. Yeah. But as I'm saying, like it's a bargaining tactic. You're always gonna.
We're gonna keep going, Carmine. I'm just throwing it. Don't stop.
It's always going to be a bargaining tactic to be, I make 50 now, pay me 70. Okay, fine, I'll take 62. Like, that's how it works.
That's what I'm saying, right?
That's how it's going to work out.
Right.
So it's nothing to be worried about. He's not going to leave. Right. If he does leave, I would be shocked.
Right.
I would be floored if he leaves. And I don't know who to blame if he does leave, but I don't want to think about that. Because it won't happen, in my opinion.
I don't think so either. I mean, listen, he can easily say, hey, okay, how about this? He's getting paid, about 34 right now? He's asking for 40. Let's meet in the middle. Come about 37. Maybe a little bit of bonus. Give him a performance bonus.
Yeah.
Give him a performance bonus. All right? They're posturing a little bit, right? Both, ADL probably wants to save as much as he can. I don't believe he's going to give him less than what he's getting paid already.
No.
That doesn't mean. Why would you give less money to the captain? No. That doesn't make sense. I know it happens, but I don't think that's what ADL
it won't
wants.
happen. Not only that, Insigne is our best player and arguably one of the best players in Italy right now. To offer him a pay cut is like a slap in the face.
It's like I agree with that. That exactly. The pay cut is like pay cut. From the first time I heard, I didn't believe that shit. I didn't believe it, and I think this was. And I'm gonna put up Pasquale here. Got to keep Insigne and Koulibaly. I think it will happen, but the circus that is going to swirl around it happening is tiring. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment? I got something to say about this hard.
I'm just saying it's a media circus. The media has to put something out.
Yeah.
They have to put headlines. They have to put clickbait. They got to put something out for you.
Well, I'll tell you how a lot of this shit started, Carmine. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I'm just saying the media's got to put something out there. So they're gonna put out stories that honestly aren't even believable. But hey, if it gets the clicks, it gets the clicks. Like that's all it comes down to.
Let me respond to this. Insigne has no reason to stay unless he's made much richer. Yeah, because 4.5 to 5.5 is so much richer. He ain't winning nothing at Napoli. He'll get double elsewhere. So then, so be it.
What?
So if he's not, bro, people, he gets paid like 8-9 million. You understand? Gross. He doesn't get paid. I wish he was. If he was getting, if you're talking about 5.5 gross, bro, ADL got that, no problem. Like this. Insigne's the second highest paid player on the team. He makes like $10,000 a week less than Koulibaly, and Koulibaly is one of the best center backs in the world, which is it's a position and very difficult to replace. All right, we're talking about a left winger. As much as I love him, they're replaceable. They're a lot easier to replace. All right, but I'm not taking away anything from my captain because I love my captain. I was critical of him, and then I came back and I loved him. But so according to you, he's gonna get $16 million somewhere else. I doubt it.
But hold on, not only that,
he's asking for $1 million more, maybe.
But the fact that he says that he has no reason to stay. He has every reason to stay.
Right.
He is the life force of that team.
Right.
He is the kid of the city. That was his childhood team growing up. Now he plays for them, he captains them, and has been relatively successful with them. No reason. He has no reason to stay.
Paid double.
Money. No,
people, no way.
Man, come on.
No way he's getting paid double. I'll agree he can go somewhere and. I'll agree with the I'll concede to that. I'll concede to the Champions League statement because I don't believe that Napoli's going to win a Champions League in the foreseeable, anytime soon, I should say. At least maybe not. I'll give you that much. We still got to get there. But getting paid double? You really think that Insigne is going to get paid $16 million on Barcelona? Barcelona's in the red right now. Barcelona could barely pay shit. They almost lost their team if it wasn't for them negotiating with the banks. He has no reason to stay. He has every reason to stay, Rafa Rispo says. He'll never be able to live with himself if he doesn't at least try to win a Scudetto at Napoli, if he try.
Exactly.
And he's not going to Milan. There was some stupid thing. He ain't going to Milan. But here's the deal. I'll tell you how all this shit started. Now, we had in the press conference that he was going to wait till after the Euros. 2 days later, another reporter comes up, asks him the same question, which is bullshit because I searched about 6 different articles that all reported this. Nobody reported the question, only the answer, number one. Okay? And what it said was that and they only put 2 sentences for the answer. Meanwhile, it was like a paragraph long, the answer. And all they put was, ADL said, if Insigne is tired, he can leave, but it's not our choice. That's it. That's all. That's all they reported. These 2 stupid lines. Okay? And then on top of that, some fan had an Instagram post that showed a picture of Insigne next to Jorginho with a jersey, with Spinazzola's jersey, showing love to their guy that got injured, okay? And then next to it, he wrote some bullshit that, we love you, Insigne, our president, basically shitting on the president, saying he's not good if he makes you leave. He's only doing this is the mentality of the Napoli fan, which also I had a friend of mine who from Napoli in the group said the same shit. So it's real. ADL is doing all of this to make the Napoli tifosi hate Insigne, so when he sells him, they won't hate ADL. This is your fucking theory. This is your theory. This is the Neapolitan theory. That ADL said that 2 days after the press conference, that they asked him the same question. I'll tell you what they asked him in a second. But they asked him the same question, and his answer was, well, if he wants to leave and he's tired, he can go. But it's not our choice. Yeah, that was it. And we stopped right there. No, that wasn't going to happen. And then this random ass fan shares this photo, right? And then puts all this bullshit talking about his president. And then Insigne's agent takes the post and shares it on his Instagram. And they got shitted on for sharing it. Deletes the post, backtracks his opinion and says, I'm sorry, I didn't even see the comment from the fan. I just shared the post. Yeah, you didn't see the big letters right over the photos, shitting all over ADL, and you're the agent and you share that. What a great way to negotiate a contract. Shit on the guy that you're asking for $10 million for.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, so am I.
I have no words. Like I genuinely just don't know what to say anymore. I wish I could formulate a string of words together to express the way I feel right now, because it's just absurd. It's just absurd, the amount of clownery that is going on. Rafa, honestly, I'm floored. I don't know what to say.
Well, here we go.
I'm
Let
getting
me
dizzy.
respond.
Like, this is like unreal.
This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, again, ADL, not perfect. Is he a dick sometime? Yes, I'm acknowledging all of this. But this whole fucking storm here was created by journalists and some ignorant-ass fan posting on Instagram and a stupid-ass agent who I despise these agents.
Agents are always going to be like
people.
That. Agents are going to be like, listen, I was reading a book, and they was talking about Mino Raiola. We all know who Mino Raiola is. He's an agent, right? Every time he walked into a negotiation, specifically with Sir Alex Ferguson, it always ended with Ferguson calling him a name of some sort. That's just how agents are. They stir the pot and they try to, they try to make things out of nothing. But like, this is getting way too out of hand now. This is getting way too out of
right.
Just let them work out the contract between themselves. Right. Because it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Like, there is no extracurriculars. There's no need for it.
No,
there is no need for it. And for the media side, maybe there is, because they want to sell. They want the clicks. They need to sell. But from a fan perspective, to saying that ADL has no ambition, to say that he can go elsewhere for more money because he needs to win something, to just accumulate all these thoughts, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm floored. I'm speechless.
People, I want to get back to this. I think the fans here talked about, as far as ADL's ambition, I can't subscribe to that. He'll get 6 to 7 million. If you're saying 6 to 7 million net, which means you think that ADL, that Insigne will get $14 million. Yeah, if PSG buy him, if Man City, if that chic oil money comes around swinging their oil money in front of him, he'll get $14 million. He'll also be overpaid. Number one, sorry, Insigne, I love you, but you're not worth $14 million. Okay, not right now. Not over 4 years at 30 years old. I'll give you 9. I'll give you 9, and that's because you had a good Euro, and I think you have 2 really, really good seasons left in you.
Honestly, I'd even give him more than that. I'd say I'd give gross. Are we talking about gross here?
Let's talk net, because I don't want to talk gross because the number seems so low that we get confused. Yeah. Let's talk about what they're really paying him. He's not getting paid $5 million or 4.5. He's getting paid $9 million. He's getting paid $160,000 a week, or 150 or something like that. I'd give
him like 11. If he wants a bit more, I'd give him $1 million more, million a bit. Like, the thing is, you have to keep Insigne on this team. It's not that you can just let him go. You have to keep him on this team. There's no two ways about it. He is the core of this team. He on the field, he produces, but he's also influential off the field. You need to keep him on this team. And he can go elsewhere and win.
Yeah.
But first of all, it leaves the team in shambles.
This is an opinion, and Peep, I respect your opinion, but you don't take a $70 million risk off of one player just because you think you're going to be able to sell him. Do you understand? You don't take those big. Napoli does not have the luxury to make $70 million risks. He bought this guy. No. Maybe he thought he can get a return on him. That's true. I won't lie. But that's good business, dude. Because listen, Osimhen is not going to retire a Napoli player. He's eventually going to go. He'll finish his cycle. Maybe somebody will give us a $100 million for him, 150, and we will get our money back. Who knows? And then, hell, we could take that money and just buy another fucking Napoli team that's really good. But to say this thing, and I'm tired of this, this thing about, fourth place is good enough. Guess what, world? Soccer has changed. This is not 1992, where the Scudetto means that much, where the Champions League are only champions. No. It's 1 through 4. We have, 30 extra games that we got to play next season? Or they have to play in Champions League? Okay? And I think our friend Miguel, he's going to watch this on the replay because I know he's working. All right? He says, ask yourself, man, look at the motivation to win a Scudetto. And let's be honest, nobody won a Scudetto in 9 years. So don't just shit on Napoli. If you're gonna shit on Napoli, shit on everybody, because nobody won in the past 10 years almost, except for Juve. So what's your excuse for Milan? What's your excuse for Inter? Tell me, did they do bad business? Are their owners papones?
Well,
tell me.
I just did worse business.
Maybe just be consistent.
They did worse business.
Maybe they did, but I just want to know: are they papones? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they win? All right, let's keep it real. But here's the deal: if Michela broke it down in the club. If you win, and I'll ask you, Carmine, how about this? If I had to offer you third place or second place in Serie A, but you get to win the Champions League, versus you win the Scudetto, but you get knocked out in the group stage or even the first round of 16, what would you choose?
Honestly, Champions League. Not even thinking twice about it.
Yeah.
Not even thinking twice about it.
I'll give you 120 million reasons why I'll choose the Champions League, okay?
Yeah, that's it. Like you said, this is not 1990s anymore. We have to accept the fact that football is a financial game. That's what it is now. It's a game of finances. And in order to compete, you got to compete with the finances. You got to be up with the top teams. And in this situation, as much as I would love a Scudetto, and we haven't seen the Scudetto in, I can't do the math right now, 35 years, whatever it is, 35 years. If you give me an opportunity right now in the day and age that we are in to win a Champions League, I'm winning a Champions League. Because I know for a fact that the money that I can make with the Champions League, I can just reinvest back into the team and then win the Scudetto later on.
Right.
You just have to accept that fact. This is Moneyball. What we're playing right now is Moneyball.
Right.
That is what we're doing.
Right.
You have to accept that fact first. Get it out of your head. Play Moneyball first. Worry about the Scudettos after. Trust me, I want to win a Scudetto as much as the next guy. I want this team to lift up that trophy as much as any other Napoli fan in the world. But as of right now, you know what I care about? Get the Champions League. Get your money. Build. That's what I care about right now. And that's what ADL cares about.
Right.
And that's what the goal is. That's what we should be on right now as a goal. Get your money up first. Get back to where you need to be, and then build. In that sense, yeah, I agree. Win the Champions League. Get your money, build it up after.
Let me give you another response here, JC. Napoli can't even get past Granada. How can Napoli do anything in CL with Olerio spending money on Lobotka and rolling with Mario Rui at left back? First of all, I think Mario Rui is gone. Mistakes. We're trying to buy Emerson. Mario Rui did okay at times. So did Hisa. They weren't the best, but they were there, you know? All right, Lobotka, first of all, was a recommendation from our former captain / record breaker. You know what I mean? So they bought him. And if you want to talk about Granada, go look at the lineup on the first game we played them, okay? We had two 18 players on the bench. Zielinski, Bakayoko, both exhausted because they had to cover so much ground in Serie A. All right? The rest of it was Contini, our third-string goalie, because Ospina was out at that time as well, and then 6 youth players, 6 18-year-olds that we played against Granada that first game. And then the second game, we beat them. So it was bad luck. Yo, Napoli had bad luck this year, okay? But we had the squad. It was just between COVID and injuries. Our team was decimated. Between Gattuso, you know, whatever. What did ADL did nothing this year. We had the team. We had the depth. We had it all. But we couldn't seal the deal because half our team was injured half the time. We couldn't build any consistency. Once we went on Silencio Stampa, once our starters all came back from injury, and you can see it in the last 10 games, we were unbeaten. And
you can see it in the start of the season, too, where we were rolling through teams, 6-0, 5-1. Like, we were decimating teams at the start of the season.
Every major pundit. Made us a contender for the Scudetto before the injuries. And then once the injuries started, that was it. It was a wrap. The COVID, the this, the Zelensky's out, the ASL, all this shit. And it was just a fucking media storm. Yes, we should beat teams like Granada. I'll give you that much. But it's hard to do when you have your B team starting and they're tired and everybody else is injured. It was just tough. It's just tough. ADL's a genius.
I agree. Yep.
Maybe he's right. Maybe Medicam's sick. JC should not give advice on Lobotka. But also, don't you think Lobotka's confidence was hurt a little bit at times when,
But sometimes you just make mistakes. Sometimes you just make a mistake, and it happens. And luckily, it wasn't too big of a mistake financially to sign Lobotka. But we are ruined. Okay, maybe scouting is something that we could improve too. But yeah. Yeah, see, Rafa's just reiterating. Too
well, they're on that delay, so I know Rafa. I know Rafa.
Yeah, listen, there's not much we could have done with the injuries that we had. Sure, we could argue the fact that we had the depth, enough depth that we could compensate for these injuries. Mm-hmm. But sometimes soccer doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have bad games. And don't get me wrong, as much as I liked Gattuso at times, I was also very critical of him because he would have games where he got it wrong.
Yes.
Like, that's just how it is. Like, he just makes mistakes.
Right.
Listen.
And ADL said that, too. He called him out.
Mancini, let's talk about Mancini. Phenomenal for 2 years. We got it wrong against Spain. Sometimes it happens. We lucked out against Spain. We brought them to the penalties, and we won on penalties. But even good as a coach as Mancini is, 34 games unbeaten, taking this team to a Euro final, even he gets it wrong. So what do you want? Like, it just happens. It just happens.
It's not going to be perfect. And
exactly.
This season, for what those guys did, and it's funny, we talk about Team Carmine, and if you want to consider that maybe Gattuso didn't do all the right things and yada yada yada, then really it's our team that's underrated because think about the quality that we had that we can make that run that we did those last 10 games this season, or at least the final third of the season, I should say. We really underrate our team because we're not fucking spending $150 million on one player. You know what I mean? We underrate them a lot. And I know they're not the perfect team, they're the best team. And I don't think they're going to win a CL. But how do you win a CL when you're facing a team that can spend over $1 billion within 10 years and still not win a Champions League? Those are the papones in my eyes. Those are the fucking people that you should be watching out for. Those are the people that ruin soccer. And then for fans to say "Caccisord" and have the balls to say that ADL is all about business. Let me remind you, Tifosi, sword is business. So "Caccisord," you are speaking business, something that you don't know a whole lot of, respectfully. And I don't mean my English-speaking fans here. I'm talking about some of these pricks out in Napoli. I'm sorry, I don't support that shit. That you're a bunch of hypocrites. And you have the balls to go into the stadium and diss your president when Napoli has to beat Verona? And then you put a Striscione up here and a Striscione. You want respect, but you shit all over your president with these Striscione in his stadium. It's not ours, but in the stadium at times. Or outside the stadium. Or over the highway. But no, you want respect. He needs to respond to you. Yes, thank you, fans. We appreciate the love and the support. But come on, man. He's taking all the risk. Give him that much. And yes, have him shut up. But business-wise, I can't complain.
I can't either.
Some closing music here. All right, because we have to get out of here soon.
Yeah.
If you want to wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up. Like I said, and you explained me perfectly. I'm a very centrist person when it comes to ADL. And honestly, business-wise, he's done very well. 2004, he took us from nothing. He took us from, guys, remember this. He took you from nothing.
Yeah.
And we were competing in Champions Leagues. We were going up against Real Madrid and putting on shows against them. And we were competing. And we were almost up in Scudettos and we got trophies. Just, you have to realize it's a money ball game now. And ADL is playing money ball. And he's doing it pretty damn well. He's doing it pretty damn well. He doesn't have the same resources as everyone else, but he's doing pretty damn well at it. And if that's one thing I can't knock off him, is the business decisions he has made. Anything else I can argue about, but his business decisions, I gotta admit, I'll concede, he is doing good. That's it. I'm a rapper with that.
Let him live. Thank you. Let's get a big Forza Napoli out in the chat, guys. All right. We appreciate everybody who stuck around, man. Thank you to the chat. Hey, man, whether you're pro ADL, anti ADL, we all love Napoli, and that's important. You know, between El Napa, Rob, you know, between everybody, JCC, thank you. Rafa Rispo, thank you for coming by. I know you've been a busy day. Super busy, Rafa Rispo, but still takes the time to come to the chat. Carmine, thank you to you for filling in, man. I couldn't have done this alone. I couldn't have done
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm always, like I said, it's like a second home to me now. I always love coming on whenever I can.
So thank you, Zach, Forza Napoli, Pasquale Napolitano, Scoundrel Phil, Big Hearts, Rob Napoli. Oh, now put on Forza Napoli, you prick. But I love you. Thank you, guys. A lot of these guys in the CNC Club, man. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Napoli Club Toronto as well, man. We know you guys are big support of us. Sereno, I think he was tied up today. We tried to get him on today, but it's all right.
Yeah. Speaking of Napoli, before we close out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to, I'm wearing it right now just so everyone can see.
Yes.
We have a clothing line that's about to come out on our website. It's all Champion products.
Yes.
You can see that right there. We have our little logo. We got a little hat for y'all to see too. It's so
I'll do it.
Pretty soon our clothing line will come up. Just follow our social media.
Check it out, guys.
I believe will be posted later on. And stay tuned for that.
Yes, guys, check it out. It's some sweet gear. He was able to show me some sneak preview pictures too, guys. Napoli Club Toronto. Show them some support, especially if you're in the Canadian.
Appreciate it.
But once again, I'm gay, low kicks. I put that on by accident. You got me. I think Low Kick got a friend out there messing with him, but.
Forza Azzurri. We need that win
Forza
Sunday.
Azzurri, guys. All right, we're going to get out of here. Until then, guys, Forza Napoli sempre. Forza Azzurri, let's go. Let's get England, huh? Let's get England.
Let's go. We need that
go.
win.
Let's bring it home. Bring it to Rome, baby. Let's go, and we'll see you again soon, guys. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
See you guys. Ciao.